Hey guys, welcome. My name is Katie. I'm adding up Addingtons, and today I'm talking about my top advice for new homeschoolers, so stick around. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a mom of 8. We own our own business. We homeschool. We are former foster parents. We are an adoptive family. We're a multiracial family. We love to travel and adventure together, and we just cover all of it. We cover all the things over here. So I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and stick around. Today I want to talk about my top advice for new homeschoolers. Now, I've been homeschooling for several years now, and I've done preschool, elementary school, high school, the whole gamut. I know a lot of you out there are finding yourselves homeschooling for the first time because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So whatever brought you here, welcome. And if you are a new homeschooler, here are the top 3 things that I would tell you as a new homeschooler. My kids are playing a game. You'll probably hear them floating around in the background. They live here. All right, number 1. Progress is more important than milestones. Here's what I mean by that. It seems really obvious to say that every kid is different, but every kid is different. And it is more important that your children are making progress from wherever they are than that they are hitting specific milestones. It's really easy as a parent, especially if you are used to a public school telling you that your child either is or isn't on track for grade level, that they are or they aren't passing the tests. If that is your normal measurement tool, it's really easy to get hung up on, am I meeting the milestones? Does my child know X, Y, and Z? And some of that can be helpful, but I really just want to encourage you that progress is more important than milestones. Here's the thing. Grade levels are somewhat arbitrary to begin with. We make those things up just to ensure that we're not losing kids who aren't making progress, but grade levels are relatively arbitrary. If you walk into any classroom in the country, you will have kids who are not quite caught up to everybody. You'll have those in the middle, and you'll have those who are really advanced in any classroom, especially in the younger years where kids are just developing at very different rates. If you're new around here, my degree is actually in education, and I was a classroom teacher before I was a homeschool mom. That's a really big word in teacher training right now, is differentiation. Differentiation means teaching to a variety of abilities. So you are expected, when you learn to be a teacher and you walk into a classroom, you're expected to have some level of skill in teaching to multiple levels of kids to begin with. So essentially what you're doing in homeschooling is not trying to meet the list of standards necessarily, so much as you're just differentiating to your child full-time instead of them being on a spectrum of abilities in a classroom full of other kids. And they will also probably progress in different rates in different subjects. For example, my older 2 sons are 9 and 7. Now, one of them has had a really slow process in learning how to read. That's just been really difficult for him. He's been plodding along, and it just has not come naturally. But his understanding of numbers and how they work together and fit together and affect each other is incredible. So he's been able to fly a lot farther ahead in math than he has in reading. Now, my younger son is the opposite. He taught himself to read at 4 years old. I can't even take credit for that. He just picked it up, and he reads super fluently. But math has been a little bit slower. Remembering to take the time and go through the steps and be careful is a lot harder. So if your children are making progress, if they are learning and getting better, that is more important than hitting a specific list of milestones. Number 2, is be gentle with yourself. If this is your first time homeschooling, you will make mistakes. You will, and that's okay. Nobody's going to be scarred forever. You won't get everything right the first time. There may be programs that don't work for you. The schedule that you think is perfect may be terrible. All of those things are okay. Now here's the thing. Your kids would have bad days at school, and that wouldn't surprise you, right? We all have bad days. So it wouldn't upset you if your child had a bad day at school. Your child will have a bad day at home too. That's normal. It doesn't make you a bad teacher or a bad parent. We all have bad days. Give yourself some grace for that. Also, you wouldn't start a new job if you got hired somewhere and you had a new job and you stepped in. You wouldn't be expected to know absolutely everything about that job and the processes and protocols and rules and regulations and everything the very first day that you set foot in that job role. You would have some time to get used to it and ask questions and learn the processes and get some training. And so why do we think that we're going to jump into our first day of homeschooling and have everything absolutely down pat perfect the first time? That's not how it works. So be gentle with yourself. Learn as you go. Adjust when you need to. And you know what? We're all going to have bad days. And that's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Finally, number 3. Enjoy the learning. There will be things that you will learn for the first time as you go through material with your kids. There will be things that you'll rediscover. Have fun with that. Allow your kids to have downtime where they can apply what they've learned. It's in that application that the learning sticks. Like there's a time and place for rote memorization and rote facts, and some of those things we need, but so much of the application and the learning sticks when we have to use it, whether that's an imagination game that kids play, or whether they're trying to build something, or whether they are making their own lunch, or whatever it is. Those concepts stick when kids have to use them. So allow for downtime. Follow the rabbit trails. Usually I tell you not to do that, but in this case, when you're learning things, follow the rabbit trails. If your kid asks a question, stop and take the time to find out. You will be amazed at the things that they learn and internalize, the things you learn and internalize, and how things end up being interconnected all together. You might be doing a read aloud, reading a book with your child, and read something about a culture that you learned at another point in time in another lesson. You might see a geography reference somewhere that you remember from looking through the maps. That's awesome. And all of those things, making connections, are helping your kids' brains learn better. Not just more, but better. And you will enjoy it too. You will be amazed at the things that you learn. So, as an experienced homeschool mom, those are my top 3 pieces of advice for new homeschooling parents. 1, progress is more important than milestones. 2, be gentle with yourself. And 3, enjoy the learning. Enjoy the process. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad. Let me know in the comments if you have other questions about homeschooling or anything else, and I would love to answer those in future videos. Be sure you stick around next week because I have some really exciting things happening, and I can't wait to share with you. So hit that subscribe button. Be sure to come back. See you next time. Bye.